The lady who asked for water was none other than Lakshmi, who was Sita in Treta Yugam. The person who gave shelter to Ramanuja in the night, the hunter, was none other than Srimad Narayan, who was Ram in Treta Yugam. And Ramanuja himself was nobody other than the Ramanuja of Treta Yugam, who was Lakshmana. So this act of Bhagavan, that is Srimad Narayan walking in the front, followed by Jagannatha Mahalakshmi Sita walking in the middle, followed by Adisesha Avataram, that is Ramanuja walking in the third, was enacted in the Treta Yugam as well as the Kali Yugam. Now Ram, Sita and Lakshmana, they all reached Shringibherapuram. What is Shringibherapuram? Where is it? Shringibherapuram still exists in Uttar Pradesh. Shringibherapuram was a small place on the other side of Ganges. It was in the outskirts. Though it was on the outskirts of Ayodhya, it was still not resembling a city. It was a proper forest which had certain huts. And to all those people who were living there, they were all boatmen. And to all those boatmen and to all those hunters, the chief was Guha. Now, Valmiki gives a very beautiful description of that particular place called Shringibherapuram. Vishnupadachutam divyam apapam papanashinim shimshumarescha nakrescha bhujangaischa samanditam Shankarasya jata jutat bhrashtam sagara tejasa samudra mahishim gangam sarasa kraunjanaditam asasada mahabahu Shringaverapuram prati. Asasada mahabahu. The men of great arms, with powerful arms of great valor and strength, now arrived to this beautiful place called Shringaverapuram. The Shringaverapuram was ruled by the hunter's chief, who was called Guha. Now Valmiki gives a very beautiful description of Guha. Tatra Raja Guho Nama Ramasyatma Samasakha Nishada Jatyo Balavan Sthapati Ksheti Vishrutaha. Nishada Jatyo Balavan. He was the chief to all the clan, to the clan of all the boatmen and the hunters. At the same time, see, the concept is, when Valmiki is saying that he was the chief of all hunters, no hunter would have done a research or a PhD, or nobody is a doctorate. They were all illiterate people. Despite being the chief of all the illiterate people and being an illiterate by himself, yet with all these disqualifications, Guha was Atma Samasakha. He was the most close associate of Ram. Tatra Raja Guho Nama Ramasya Atma Samasakha. Atma Samasakha, because Ram had this quality of treating people of great attitude equal, on par with him, despite him being the king of a great Raja called Dasharatha, despite knowing the fact that the friend with whom he is moving will be a tribal chief or will be a monkey, despite knowing all these facts, he will always maintain a great friendship with good people. There is generally one Aitihyam. Aitihyam is one belief, what all our commentators have stated. Once, Guha's wife came to Guha and said, "Hey Natha, please go and take bath today." He in return wanted to thrash her. He told her, "Don't you know that I had my bath last year itself?" This is just to indicate that these hunters never had the orthodox or acharam, that culture of acharam. They never had this concept of taking bath every day, then brushing your teeth and then doing the worship, and then after having done the aradhanam, then taking the prasadam. They never had any of these concepts. Their only thing was to hunt, and whatever food that came out of the hunting, they used to eat and live their lives. So this Aitihyam of Guha is just to indicate that Guha was not a very learned person. He was not an educated person. He had not gone to any Gurukulam. He did not have the proper acharam, the cleanliness or hygiene. But he had a very nice heart. His feelings for people was very good. So Ram was a very close friend and associate of Guha. Guha came to know that Ram was approaching his place. Once he came to know that Ram along with his brother Lakshmana and Ram's wife Sita were coming to his place, he invited all the hunters to his place and said, "It is now time for us to reciprocate the amount of love Ram has been showering on me and the entire clan of Nishadakulam. Let us all go and invite Ram along with his brother and his wife." And all of them went. Guha fell prostrate at his feet. Valmiki gives a very beautiful description how Guha approached Ram. Once he heard from one of his inmates that Ram is going to approach his particular town, his particular place, he ran from one side, one bank of Ganga to the other to invite him. He ran at such a speed that the water was splashing as if an elephant is running on the stream of Ganges. And whenever you are drenched with the water and you walk on the sands of the bank, all the sand gets attached to your feet. He ran at such a speed on the Ganges that the water splashed entirely on his body and sand got attached or stuck to all parts of his body. And when he saw Ram, he did not know what to do. He just fell like a stick that would fall to the ground. Dandavat pranamam. He fell at the feet of Ram. Ram then hugged Guha and said, "You should not fall at my feet. You are my close friend." And he hugged Guha. Guha told Ram, "Swagatam te mahabaho taveyam akhilam mahi vayam preshya bhavan bharta sadhu rajyam prashadhinaha." Welcome to your rajyam. Had we been in Guha's position, we would have said to Ram, you are invited to my kingdom, because we still have the feeling that the kingdom where we are ruling is our kingdom and Ram is coming to our kingdom. But look at the way Guha is inviting Ram. He's telling, "Hey Ram, you are invited to your kingdom." He didn't say it is my kingdom, because he believed that any place on this earth belonged only to Ram. So he said, "Swagatam te mahabaho taveyam akhilam mahi vayam preshya bhavan bharta sadhurajyam prashadinaha." Guha then told Ram, it seems, this concept what Guha told Ram is beautifully brought by a poet called Thirumangai Alvar, who was a mystic saint in the Tamil Divya Prabandham tradition. It seems Guha told Ram, "See, I am a very, very illiterate person, Ram. I do not know the proper ways of welcoming a person, that to a person of such a great stature like you. I am not a learned person. I have not been educated in a Gurukulam. Neither do I know the proper etiquette. Neither do I know the proper courteous ways. All that I know is you are my closest friend and I am welcoming you. Please don't have the thoughts that I am a poor man, I am an illiterate. All that I can say is please forgive whatever I may be doing wrongly. I may only say please forgive my unhygienic conditions. And please see to the great cleanliness and hygiene that I have in for you, the bhakti that I have for you." Yezhai yedalan kilmagan ennadirangi matravar kinnarul churandu மாழை மான் மடநோக்கி உந்தோழி உம்பியம்பி என்றொழிந்திலை உகந்து தோழன் நீ எனக்கிங்கொழிக்க என்று சொற்கள் வந்து அடியேன் மனத்திருந்திட ஆழிவண்ணா நின்னடியினை அடைந்தேன் அணிபொழில் திருவரங்கத்தம்மானே. Then Ram in return said to Guha, it seems, "Umbi ambi enna." Hey Guha, now you know me very well and I know you very well. But this person who has come with me does not know about our friendship. Hey Guha, he is Lakshmana. This Lakshmana, who is your brother, is also my brother. Look at the way Ram is introducing. How Guha told Ram, how he invited Ram. He said, "Ram, you are invited to your kingdom." In turn, Ram is proving his magnanimousness. He is telling Guha, "Hey Guha, this person Lakshmana who's standing with me is your brother, and this Lakshmana who's your brother is my brother." What would a normal person say? He will say, "This is my brother Lakshmana. He will also be your brother from now on." This is how a normal human being would say. But Ram is not a normal human being. Atimanusha Sheelavritta Veshaihi Ativrittamara Vikrama Pratapaihi Atilangita Sarvaloka Samyam Varaye Vaishnava Vaibhava. He assumed himself to be a human being. He wanted to be a human being, but he could not control his divine qualities. So he became Atimanushaha. He was not a Manushaha. He was not a normal human being. Atimanushaha. He was an extraordinary human being. So he in turn replied to Guha saying that this is your brother. Lakshmana is your brother, and only after becoming your brother, he is my brother. Umbi Mb enna. Umbi in Tamil means Untambi, your brother. Mb means Yentambi, my brother. But we have been witnessing these conversations, whatever happened between Guha and Ram. At the same time, when we have seen the doctrine of Sharanagati, the central theme of Sharanagati in Ramayanam, we should not forget that Sharanagati is offered only at the feet of Bhagavan. It is also offered at the feet of Bhagavati, that is Sita. Together as a divine couple only they grant moksham or they grant abhayam. So, throughout Ramayanam, if you have been witnessing, right now in Ayodhya Kandam, then in Ayodhya Kandam, especially in Kishkinda and Sundara Kandam, you will see how important the presence of Sita is. Without the acceptance of Sita, without the initial acceptance of Sita, Ram will never offer abhayam or moksham to anybody in Srimad Ramayanam. You can see this incident by incident. The first is here, wherein he is meeting Guha. He is declaring that Guha is one of his closest friends and close associates. And he is also introducing Lakshmana as his brother. With all these things happening, where do we see the part of Sita? Initially, when he saw Guha itself, he told Guha, "Hey Guha, this lady who is standing with me is your friend. And since she is your friend, I married her. And since I married her, she is also my friend." Look at the clever words, the beautiful words what Ram puts. He says, "Hey Guha, this lady who is standing with me is your friend. I know that you are good. You have a very good heart. And when you have a very good heart, even your friend Sita will have a very good heart. And when she has a very good heart, I am attracted to her. We married. Since we married, she is my friend." Now, after having said this to Guha, Ram was indicating to Sita, "Hey Sita, it is now time as the Jagannmata, Vishnu Patni, the one with all the auspicious qualities, Kalyananam Avikala Nidhihi, you are the treasure house of all auspicious qualities. It is now time for you to cast your beautiful eyes on this great devotee Guha." In his beautiful composition, Sri Stuti Swami Vedanta Deshika prays to Mahalakshmi. He says, "Yasyam yasyam dishi viharate devi drishtistvadiya tasyam tasyam aham ahamikam dhanvate sampadogha." At the shelter, under the shelter of Mahalakshmi, there are about 7 to 8 servants, Dhriti, Mati, Saraswati, that is education, wealth, prosperity, fame. All these servants are under the shelter of Mahalakshmi. And they are all waiting to execute the commands of their master, who's nobody other than Mahalakshmi. And they are all waiting not for her words, because great people never open their mouth. Silence is always golden. Hiranyavarnam Harinim. She never used to open her mouth. But with the indication used to be the eye movements of Mahalakshmi. So they used to see where and to which place and on whom the eyes are being cast, that of Mahalakshmi. And once they would know the person, the fortunate person on whom the gracious looks of Mahalakshmi have fallen, they will rush to him saying that I will come first. Saraswati will say, education will say, I will go to the devotee first, whereas prosperity will say, I will go to the devotee first. So they will start having a healthy competition amongst each other as to who will reach the devotee first. So they are all aham ahamikam. They will say, I will go, I will go. When will they say? They won't say just like that. They will say only when Mahalakshmi's grace falls on a certain person. So to invoke this important grace of Mahalakshmi, Ram was indicating to Sita, please cast your grace on this great devotee Guha. yasyam dishi viharate devi drishtisttvadiya tasyam aham ahamikam dhanvate sampadogha. Sita now knew Guha. Likewise, Lakshmana knew Guha. In return, Guha knew both of them. And at this point of time, Guha asked all his hunters to bring the various varieties of fruits that he had gathered in the forest for all these days when he knew that Ram was coming to his place. He placed those fruits along with honey and then meat before Ram. He said, "Hey Bhagavan, this is all for you." Ram said, "I cannot accept all these." He said, "Jalameva vade bhojyam Lakshmanena hritam swayam Kushicharadinadharam phalamoolashanam chamam." See Guha, I have said that I will always live in fruits, in forests. I will not touch meat. And I cannot use honey because honey is supposed to be the one that can be consumed only by the royal people. Now I am living in forests. So right now I will not be in a position to accept whatever you are giving to me. He said this in a very diplomatic manner. Why did he say so? Why can't he consume those fruits or honey or meat? Does it mean that Ram was there throughout meat eating or did not consume any fruits or honey throughout the 14 years of his exile in the forest? No. While he met Shabari, Shabari offers Ram and Lakshman fruits and he consumes them. He has consumed the fruits what Shabari gave to him, whereas he did not accept those fruits what Guha gave to him. What was the reason behind? What is the logic? Where is Rama and what is he hinting at? This answer to this question can be found by one great saint of Sri Vaishnava tradition. He was called Manavala Mamuni. In Sanskritized name, he was Varavara Muni. This Varavara Muni gives a very beautiful answer to this. He consumed the fruits what Shabari offered because Shabari had the Acharya Sambandham, whereas he did not accept the fruits what Guha gave to him because Guha did not have Acharya Sambandham. What does this Acharya Sambandham denote? If we have seen, we will see various portraits where an old lady, a forest hermit, what she does is she has a little basket with fruits. She would give those fruits to Ram and Lakshman and Ram and Lakshman will be consuming. That lady was Shabari. Whereas Guha when offered did not give. Why did he accept Shabari's? Because Shabari gave those fruits to Ram and Lakshman not out of her interest for Ram and Lakshman. Because her Acharya was Matanga Maharishi. Matanga Maharishi, when he was about to leave, when the time had come, when the right time had come for him to leave to his abode of Sri Vaikuntham, he told, "Hey Shabari, I will have to leave to Sri Vaikuntham, but now remember one fact, that Ram and Lakshman will be coming. They will be coming along this hermitage and please offer them shelter. And when you're offering them, please offer them certain fruits." So Shabari was just implementing what her Acharya had said. Since Acharya Matanga Maharishi had given this order to Shabari, and since Shabari had executed and implemented what her Acharya had said, Ram and Lakshmana consumed the fruits given by Shabari. Whereas Guha did not have an Acharya Sambandham. He did not have the intervention of an Acharya, a preceptor. Hence, Ram rejected the offerings of Guha. If we have seen, in Ayodhya Kandam itself, there were two Sharanagatis. One what Devas, the demigods, had performed at the feet of Divya Dampati on the Milky Ocean, having the Acharya Sambandham of Brahma. The second Sharanagati was when King Dasharatha performed Sharanagati at the feet of sage Parashurama after Sita's marriage. The first one, the Devas Sharanagati, became fruitful, whereas the Sharanagati of King Dasharatha at the feet of Parashurama was not successful. What was the reason what we saw there? Because Devas did not approach Bhagavan directly. They had the intervention of Acharya who was Brahma. Whereas King Dasharatha approached Parashurama directly, he did not use the intervention of an Acharya like Vasishtha or Vishwamitra. Hence that Sharanagati was not successful. Likewise, the fruits that were offered by Shabari were consumed by Ram because she had the intervention of an Acharya, the Acharya Sambandham. Whereas the fruits offered by Guha were not accepted by Ram because he did not have an Acharya Sambandham. He did not have the intervention of his Acharya. But when I say that Guha did not have the intervention of Acharya, this gives another question. We have already said that Guha was a hunter. He was an illiterate. Where will he go in search of an Acharya? So Ram, on the first day, he told Guha that he will not accept the fruits, because until that moment Guha did not have an Acharya. The next day, when Ram was about to leave Guha's place and go to another place in Dandakaranyam, Ram accepted the fruits given by Guha. On the first day he did not accept, on the second day he accepted. What made him accept the second day and what made him reject the first day? The first day Guha offered the fruits, but he did not have an Acharya Sambandham. But once he saw Ram, Ram thought that this illiterate person will not have an Acharya, hence I should be the Acharya to him. And hence he himself became the Acharya to Guha, and on the second day he accepted the fruits given by Guha. So, if we get into the research of Ramayanam, every act of Bhagavan, Sri Ram and Sita and Lakshman will have some logic and Siddhantam, some philosophy behind it. There is no doubt about it. So, when Shabari offered fruits to Rama, when she said, Eva mukta mahabhagaistadaham purusharishaba maya tu sanchitam vanyam vividham palarishaba. Hey Bhagavan, I am offering fruits. He accepted because Shabari had the Acharya Sambandham, whereas Guha did not have the Acharya Sambandham on the first day. Whereas the second day he had Acharya Sambandham because Ram himself became the Acharya. Now, it was night time. Guha laid a very beautiful bed full of grasses, made of grass, for Ram and Sita, and he laid one special one for Lakshmana separately. He asked Bhagavan, that is Ram and Sita, to sleep, to lay down on the bed made of grass. He came to Lakshmana and said, Hey Lakshmana, now I have laid a bed for you also, you may also sleep. He told Lakshmana, Iyam tata sukha shayya tvadartham upakalpita pratyashvasihi sadvasthvam rajaputra yatha sukham. Hey you prince, you have always been used to sleeping on a beautiful bed full of feathers. I know that, but I am a very poor man. I can't afford for feathers and gold. All that I can do is soft grass bed, and I have done one for you. You may please rest. Then Lakshmana said, Hey Guha, how can you expect me to sleep? Look at the bed what Ram and Sita have. Though you have made a very beautiful bed of soft grass for them, and though it is very relishing, I'll tell you one thing. Hey Guha, I have never seen Sita's foot outside the palace. Because when Sita said to Ram, Hey Ram, even I will walk along with you to the forest, she spoke as if she had been staying in forest for 10 years. But once she stepped to the streets of Ayodhya, she not even reached the outskirts of Ayodhya. While reaching the streets of Ayodhya itself, she asked Ram, it seems, Hey Ram, you were mentioning that we are going to the forest. Is this the forest? Because she had not even seen the streets of Ayodhya. She was such a comfortable princess and the ideal daughter-in-law to Dasharatha, who would never even step out to the palace. So once she saw the people of Ayodhya, she asked Ram whether they are all monkeys, because she had not even seen the animals before. So Sita was a princess who was brought in great comfort. But now she was sleeping on the grass bed, and Ram, who was, in Tamil there is a saying, Chakravarti Tirumagan. He was the son, the richest son to the richest king. And now he was sleeping on the bed of grass. Now Lakshmana, looking at this sight, he told Guha, Hey Guha, you have laid a very beautiful bed for me of grass, but you tell me one thing, when I have seen these two people sleep only on a golden bed full of the feathers of peacock and now sleeping on the ground with a bed made of grass, how do you think I can sleep? Lakshmana told Guha, Katham Dasharathau Bhumau Shayane Sahasitaya. How can I witness this sight wherein Sita and Ram are sleeping on the ground? Shakya nidra maya labdhum Jeevitam va sukhani va. Shakya nidra maya labdhum. How do you think I can sleep, hey Guha? Jeevitam va sukhani va. Do you think I am born just to see this sight? And once a person has seen the great divine couple sleep on the ground, how can he sleep? Now Sita and Ram slept comfortably. Lakshmana was doing a pradakshinam of the divine couple so as to protect them. And to protect Lakshmana, Guha was doing a pradakshinam of Lakshmana. And to protect Guha, all the Guha tribal, the hunters were doing a pradakshinam of Guha. How's the circle going? Sita and Ram were sleeping on the ground. To protect Sita and Rama, there was a pradakshinam that was done by Lakshmana, who was going round and round to protect them. To protect Lakshmana, Guha was going round and round around Lakshmana. And besides these circles, what we have seen, there was another huge circle which was done by the hunters. Okay, all this is understandable. That is, Sita and Ram were sleeping. To protect Ram, Lakshmana, his brother, was going round and round. To protect Sita, Ram, and to protect Lakshmana, who was in turn protecting them, Guha was going. But why were the hunters going round and round? Because they were neither the Atma Samasakha, they were neither the close associates of Ram or Sita or Lakshmana. But why were they going round and round? And they all had the confidence that Guha was a very powerful chief. He knew how to defend himself. So they could have slept in peace. Why did they go round and round? Because there is one beautiful reason that is given by a poet in Tamil. He says, Oru naal mugattil viditharai mugam paduttum paadu. It seems a person who once saw Ram, only for once, not even twice or thrice, or did not move with him for even years together. Just one glimpse of him, just one glimpse of Ram's face for a second will make that person a servant to Ram forever. So all these hunters had never seen Ram before. They were not a friend to Ram like how Guha was a friend to him. They had neither seen Sita or Lakshmana before, but they had just seen Ram for that day. And that one glimpse was enough for them to protect that beautiful face. So, Guhopi sahasutena saumitre manubhashayan anvajagrata tato ramam apramato dhanurdharaha. Look at the devotion what Guha, what Lakshmana and all the hunters had for Ram and Sita. But if you see the verse, what Lakshmana told Guha, he told, Shakya nidra maya labdhum. How can I sleep, Guha? We have to come to a conclusion that Lakshmana did not sleep at all. When he asked Guha, how can I sleep when I am seeing my elder brother and Sita, that is Ram and Sita together sleeping on the floor, on the ground, how can I sleep? That means Lakshmana did not sleep. That is how even the books will project Lakshmana to be. They will say that Lakshmana did not sleep for 14 years. But the concept is Lakshmana slept. Because the next morning, Ram wakes up Lakshmana. He says to Lakshmana, hey Lakshmana, the sun has already risen. It is now time for us to perform our daily duties, the routine activities, so please wake up. He himself says, Saumitre shrunu vanyanam valgu vyaharatam svanam sampratishthamahe kale prasthanasya parantapa. Ram wakes up Lakshmana. Hey Lakshmana, it is time for us to perform our duties, wake up. So how do we connect these two things? When Lakshmana told Guha, I will not be able to sleep on looking at this sight, and Ram waking up Lakshmana. That is, Lakshmana said that I won't be sleeping, and Ram is waking up Lakshmana. One of these must only be true. No, both of them are true. Lakshmana did sleep and did not sleep. He slept on our grounds. How do we assume sleep to be? If we go sleep at 9 o'clock in the night, we should get up at 6 o'clock. This is what we call sleep, nidra. But according to our Vedam and Shastram, sleep is something where a person sleeps without any disturbance in his mind. Even people with lot of disturbances in their mind get to sleep, but that is not proper sleep because they still have some inner thoughts going in their subconscious mind. Lakshmana actually did not sleep because Ram and Sita slept comfortably because for them leaving the kingdom or wealth did not matter much. Their only happiness was to get associated with good people. And that association had started already. They were associated with Guha and all the hunters. And they were also associated with Lakshmana. So their sleep was not affected. They were sleeping peacefully. But on looking at them sleep on the ground, Lakshmana's mind was not at peace. So when he had a disturbed mind, and even then he slept, his sleep was not equivalent to Nidra. So Lakshmana, though he used to sleep all these nights for the 14 years, yet his thought was always that Ram and Sita are suffering. Sita are suffering. Sita are suffering. Sita are suffering.